Hello, good evening, everybody. Sorry we're running just a little bit late today. Technical issues, always around the full moon. I feel like just the technology just is not working. But anyways, good evening, everybody. I'm so excited for today. All day I've been just thinking about this conversation that we're going to be having tonight because really what we're going to be talking today is really about the polarity between the masculine and the feminine energy. And what my friend Lee and I were talking about a couple weeks ago was how this is taught so wrong. It is taught so wrong with everybody out there. Everybody out there is like, oh, step into this divine feminine power and whatever. But we forget about the masculine power. And today we're really going to talk about bringing them together so we can really step into our full power, step into our full potential. Because what you guys will learn today is the difference between the differences between the masculine and the feminine. They all work together, and the masculine and the feminine have nothing to do with gender because we're all made up of both, right? We're born from both masculine and feminine energies, and so we should be in balance. But unfortunately, nowadays many women are they're either too far in the masculine energy or too far in the feminine energy. And so today we're going to be talking about bringing those together. So Lee, thank you so much for being with me today. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy that we're having this conversation. It's such an important conversation. And I feel there's still so many prejudice about it, misconceptions. So today we really try to have more clarity. What is the balance between feminine and masculine energy? And hi, everybody, I'm Lee. And what I'm doing, I'm educating women. I'm helping them to feel confident without having to fake it and feel feminine without having to fake it. So this is my big passion and mission in life. I'm organizing workshops. I'm a coach working also one-on-one with women. And I also have had massive shifts in my own personal life. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I see that every woman has the power to change their life. And that's the message I want to spread. And also I'm organizing workshops about feminine, masculine energy and having more, bringing more clarity about those two as well, and creating the balance between them. And yes, and we were laughing before we started this Facebook Live because we had little tech problems. And of course, this is the divine feminine trying to maybe get rid of some order and have more chaos, right?
Right. Oh, I love that. I love what you said is like having confidence without having to fake it, because I mean, too many times, like, I just want to really talk about that supercharged woman, right? Where many of us are, right? We're supercharged with this. I was speaking to somebody over the weekend. She was like, oh, Mandy, I would really like to have a conversation deeper with you because I would like to learn how to be a woman in a very masculine world, right? Where she's like in politics. And so she is having a hard time, like really being able to step into her power, in a sea full of men, right? And what most women do is we end up trying to compete with men, trying to become men. And what you're going to probably hear me say this quite a bit over this this video today is what irritates us, right, is something that we really need to look into. And if that whole patriarchal world is irritating you, more than likely that means you're too far in that feminine in that masculine energy. And so you've dropped into that as well. And that irritation is showing you that you're out of balance in your energy.
Yes, absolutely. And this was my personal story as well, how I actually started to look into this feminine, masculine energies or qualities, or however you want to say that. A lot of people don't like the word energies. They think it's a bit too woo-woo. So let's use qualities if you feel more comfortable with that. But it's the same thing, really, or characteristics. So yeah, my personal story was definitely about wanting to be more masculine, actually, wanting to be like men, be equal to men, because part of me felt like I'm not complete. That's why I had to change something. It was all about having these very masculine activities. You know, I was always thinking like, why do I need girlfriends in my life? I wanted to have more like guy friends, watch football with them, you know, let's have some beer. I still do that actually, but it's, you know, coming from a different place. And also, you know, it's the 21st century Western woman who has all those goals, and we are high achievers, we are overachievers. It's all about this pushing all the time, going and going out of our ways to get what we really want in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really forgetting that actually we live in our bodies. We are basically, that's where we live, right? In our mind all the time. And what I also teach women that it's so important to drop from your mind to your heart, to your body, and notice your body, because that's where the true femininity lives.
Oh yeah, amen. For those of you who aren't super familiar with what we're talking about, I love that you say that, because some people aren't really familiar with energy. And so if you really go into the qualities, so really the qualities of the divine feminine are the inside, like it's what's inside. The divine masculine is more of the outside, right? The physical. And so the masculine is up in a headspace, right? It's logic, it's all that stuff. And the woman is more of the heart space. But we need both. And so it's about not being too much in a heart space where you're not using logic. You're getting yourself into situations that are, not good because you're trying to just always follow your heart. That's not good, right? I have friends of mine, how good I am at surrender. No, because you're not using your head, but then you don't want to be too much in your head. You've got to bring it down to the heart. So when you combine the two, that literally unlocks the doors of everything in life that you want to create when you're in a good balance of the two energies. But you can't be too far in one or the other. It has to be a balance. And I totally relate with you. I'm the type, I like having guy friends. Women annoy me most of the time, things like that. And being super.
Thanks for inviting me anyways.
Right? I'm the same way. But in order for our lives to work, us to make the money that we want to make, in order for our relationships to work, this is why our relationships don't work. This is why you attract needy men, is because you're too far in that masculine energy and you're not allowing yourself to get present in your body.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with you. And also those of you who don't actually know what is the masculine qualities and what are the feminine qualities. So masculine qualities is really it's the left brain. It's the left brain, the rational brain side of our brain that is decision making, action taking. And the feminine is the right side of the brain. So the more feeling side of our brain, intuitive side of our brain. Masculine energy is all about competition, power, goal setting. It's being rational, like said earlier. And feminine energy is it's the receiving energy. It's the nurturer. It's the feeling energy. It's more being in the flow. There's no this pushing, push-pull going on. So we can't say that, one is better than the other. It's not that we women should be only in our feminine energy and men should be only in their masculine energy. The truth is, men also need to get more in touch with their feminine energy. The whole world needs to get more in touch with their feminine energy. Mm-hmm. We see what's happening in the world because we don't care. We don't take care of our environment. We don't take care of our Mother Earth. And these are real, all masculine activities. That's why we are where we are right now in the world. Politics, all this, it's all masculine energy. And the other thing that I want to say to women that who are listening this and they're starting to feel like, okay, I'm a strong, powerful woman. Like, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to change? So this is not about becoming someone that you are not. That's where I felt very confused in my life myself, because I was always comparing myself with these women who are super feminine. And I'm not talking about the looks here. I'm not talking about women who look very feminine. but more like they were always speaking with this sweet voice, you know. They didn't show too much excitement. And I was always like all over the place, you know, sometimes bossy, sometimes too excited. And I felt really, I felt a little bit lost. So how should I be, you know, like part of me had a lot of this masculine energy. I wanted to have more of this feminine energy in me as well. So it's not about becoming who you're not. It's more working with your strengths. So if you have a lot of this masculine energy in you, you can balance it with your feminine energy. Nobody's telling you to get rid of your masculine energy, because that's the divine combination. This is the divine, the fierce feminine that we talk about. It's this woman who speaks up for herself, you know. It's and we see it now as well with this sexual harassment situations, or Me Too campaign, or however you want to call it. It's, well, awareness campaign. This is the fierce feminine speaking up for herself.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing too. Like, we've really only reached about 1% of, like, what we're in a patriarchal society right now, but we haven't really stepped fully into the masculine side of things, because right now we're still in a very egoic state of the masculine, right? Which is where it's very trying to suppress the other energy. And you see that because men aren't able to, and we've got a lot of men right here watching tonight. So we've got a lot of men, they're not taught to be able to express themselves emotionally, right? You tuck that deep down inside. Women nowadays are being told the same thing. You tuck that deep down inside, right? You're not allowed to really express emotions fully. Keep that tucked down deep inside. And so then we just turn into this supercharged energy that's not even really it's not even really masculine energy. It's really just going into the ego, right? Because the qualities, like you said before, of the divine masculine are, I wrote a couple things down here. You know, it's boundaries, it's power, it's your material abundance, your prosperity, loyal, so like taking action, strength. Those are all wonderful qualities for us to have. And then the opposite of that in the feminine is like you said, receiving, trust, surrender, intuition, expression, nurturing, healing. We all need these qualities, and it's not about choosing one or the other. This one's more powerful than the other, because that masculine energy, without that, we wouldn't do anything. You know, we would literally just sit here stunted all day long. And so it's really about really merging it, but not trying to compete with it, because I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. I had somebody on Facebook the other day try and argue with me. Why are the women being blamed for everything? Men need to do better. It's the men's fault. Pitchforks and this. Look, you've got brothers, you've got sons, you've got husbands, you've got fathers. How dare you sit there and say it's all the man's fault? That's not right. And we're not saying it's the women's fault either. We all need to do better and stop competing with ourselves, and seeing where we're lacking in those qualities that we just mentioned, and how we can bring them into a balance and bring our headspace into the heart, and vice versa, and kick it up when we need to use it.
Yes. And it's all about taking your power back. Because when you say that it's someone else's fault, it's a victimhood. It's saying that someone else has a control over your life. So you take your power back, right? Like you are the one in charge here. Mm-hmm. And what I also see, you know, a lot of women, if they are, let's say in workplace, mostly using their masculine energy, and they come home and they're still in this masculine space, you know, becoming the CEOs of their relationship. And then they are also wondering why they don't have a partner, or why their relationship is not working out, because there needs to be some kind of polarity there. And if you are a very masculine woman, and you're feeling good in your masculine energy, and you are okay attracting feminine man into your life, I think this can work perfectly as well. It's just more knowing what works for you. if that works and you're very honest with yourself, yes, that's who I am, and I'm fully, truthful with myself, that's perfect. But a lot of, I think often these women, then they expect a man who is also powerful, who is also, taking care of them. And they are wondering why they are not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
The man is not helping them out, or they can't hear this appreciation, or whatever it is that is bothering women. So that's I think one of those big topics that need to be addressed here as well. How it shows up in our relationships.
Freaking men. I mean, obviously it's what I do all day long is relationships. And women are always, I'm tired of dating needy men. I'm tired of dating men who don't pull their weight. I'm always the breadwinner. I'm always this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, because the universe always seeks balance. Like the way the world works, you see the earth, how it works with balance. And when things are off balance, you see things don't work right? And that's how it is in our relationships. If we are too far into that masculine, like, here's the thing, like the masculine energy is control, right? Is control. How many women out there who are listening have a hard time letting go of control? Yes. And if you can't let go of control, you can't allow the man to have that control. And I'm not saying like unhealthy control, but I'm saying that is a masculine quality, because the opposite of control is surrender, which is the feminine quality. And so if you're exuding more of a surrender, your man can step up and be that masculine person that you're looking for. But if you can't have surrender and control. But here's the thing. When you are in surrender, that's when you're in the most control.
Absolutely. And it shows up in our sexuality as well. The other day I was reading a study that said 2 out of 3 women are not having orgasm. They can't, reach orgasm. And it's all the control. While we're having sex and living in our minds and controlling it, of course, you need to surrender, darling, right? Yes. So this is a huge issue as well for women. And I would say, really, like, I think that's where the answer lies. It's if you take away all these masculine, feminine qualities and trying to find the balance, it's the control. That's where the problem really lies. It's about the control. Push and pull, who is controlling what, how much, we even control how much love we give away, how much we love our partners. Sending a message, if our partner is not replying back, getting, angry or feeling, okay, what's happening, right? So this is, again, expectation, wanting something back. But love, the real love we're talking about is you have no expectations there, right?
Freaking men. I'm always trying to push that, letting
That's your topic, really, right?
Yes, letting go of expectations, letting go of attachments, and really just allowing yourself to receive. And like, so with my clients, I have a couple different exercises that I do, but I definitely do these exercises where I get them back into their body, getting them back into their body. Where do you feel certain things with your body? And, the left side is the masculine side, which is the giving side. The right side is the feminine side, which is the receiving side. And so many of us have those receiving blocks. I've been hurt before. I can't let that go. So I'm going to, like you said, control how much love I give, and then I'm going to control what I get back. But in that, you're blocking it. And then therefore you're wondering why I can't get into a relationship, why my relationships aren't working. And let's take it outside of the relationships. Why am I not receiving the money that I want to make in my business? Why does my head keep on hitting the ceiling? Why am I not getting what I want? And it's because you're sabotaging yourself by not opening yourself to receive, because many women find receiving as a sign of weakness. I can't receive any support. I can't ask for help. God forbid, I'm a strong, independent woman. I got this, It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And also, like I always say, if you're looking for like thinking something that you miss in your relationship, or if you're single, like what kind of man do you want to have? I want to have more masculine man. I want to have more loving man. Ask yourself how you can give it to yourself. how is this part missing in your life? Because it's all about getting the focus back on ourselves again. Because the truth is, nobody can ever give you what you need. I mean, I was searching for love, like I was searching my own love, my whole life. And I have to tell you, nobody could ever give it to me. It was the only person that can, the only person can give you your love is yourself. And I think that's very important as well about this feminine, masculine qualities. It's about understanding that you are in control, actually, when you are not in control. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like the craziness. Like when you let go of control, that's when you're really in control.
amen. When you let go, then you are just like, and it's not easy. Like letting go,
No.
everybody who's watching, we're not saying it's easy. It's really not easy. I've been through that gut-wrenching process to be able to practice that in my own life, and still I've got so much to learn in that, and same with Lee. It's not an easy process, especially I come, many of you guys have heard that story of mine, but I divorced my parents when I was 15 years old. At 15 years old I was divorced from my parents and a mother, so you can imagine control is something that I needed to do. It was a survival mechanism for me when I was younger. However, it wasn't serving me anymore in my adult life when I was out of, just trying to survive. Right now I'm trying to live and be happy, and I had to learn how to let go. I mean, it was essential, but it was extremely difficult. So we're not saying it's easy, but it's a muscle, just like you go to the gym, want big biceps, it's a muscle, and you got to practice that every single day, being able to just let go and let God, let go and let God. It's so important.
Yeah, and for me, like it's definitely resetting every day. It's choosing all over again every single day. I think control is something, the challenge will come up your whole life, but still you can work with it. It will get better. That's the thing. Also, I think some of the people who are watching might also like ask, okay, how do you do that? Or how do you actually live more, get in touch with your feminine energy? And like you said, you do some exercise with your clients, and I would say the easiest thing that I could tell women is really to get in touch with your body. How? Maybe for some women it's yoga. For some women it's dancing, actually. For some women it's about meditation. It's about sitting in silence and getting a sense of how is my body feeling today. Because how we are. We wake up in the morning very often, out of bed, already, in our mind space. What do I need to do? Quick. Especially, I imagine if you're a mother, you have limited time and it's all about giving to others. So maybe the first thing you can do is just take 30 seconds, if that's all you have. But take these 30 seconds and check, how is my body feeling today?
Oh yeah, your body will give you all the answers. Like it'll give you all the answers. There's no way we could possibly teach this on this video, but every single part of your body means something. It has a meaning. And if you feel something in a certain part of your body, it'll tell you really what the underlying thing is. And if you're able to go that deep within, like that is where the healing comes from. And again, healing is the feminine energy. So there's so many layers to the things that we're talking about. And but it's so important. But it'll be funny because when I'm talking to a client and it's like let's say some core thing comes up and I ask, okay, where do you feel that in the body? I feel that in my heart. When you feel that in your heart, that is a truth. Like that is an absolute truth. And that is what's driving you to get all of the results that you're getting back in your lives. We don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. And if you're having some kind of pain or something that you're struggling with, and you feel that in your heart, until you're able to really go really deep inside to heal that, you're going to constantly be getting results in your life that are undesirable. And so it's really, really important to get in tune with your body and being able to go deep within.
Absolutely. Amen, like you said before. And before we were just shortly talking about men as well, and it's not about creating this separation between men and women. It's not about that. So I just really want to stress it so many times, because I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about this feminine masculine energies. And men are confused too. Men feel as well that we have a lot of expectations for them. They need to be strong, masculine, powerful, take care of themselves, take care of women, take care of themselves as well, look good. And then we also want them to be emotionally open, emotionally available, express their emotions. So men are confused too. What's my role, So this is a very important topic for men as well. So men, please listen up now.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I love that you brought that up, because it isn't about, like, it was funny because I'm kind of doing stuff, and what Paul's like, what do you want to name this? He's like, stepping into your feminine power. I was like, no, that's not what I wanted to name this, because I really did want to bring both men and women in this conversation, because it is very true that because and I'm not blaming women for this, because it's just the way the world's gone. We don't understand. We're going into such a higher level of consciousness, but there's going to be this icky period for a while where we're not understanding what we're feeling, both men and women. And that's kind of where we're at right now. That's why a lot of people have gut issues, because we're going into that solar plexus, that second brain, and we don't exactly know what's coming up. We don't know how to feel it, right? But so women are turning that into, okay, I'm stepping up in this world. I need to be powerful like this. And so we're going into that masculine energy. And so men are like, okay, again, like you said, what is my role? What am I supposed to do with this? I don't understand. Like, I'm supposed to be this, I'm supposed to be that. And then no matter what I do, these women are attacking me. I had a friend of mine who went on a date, and she came back on this date so pissed off. Oh my God, he opened the door for me. He pulled out my chair. I can open my own door, and da da da. And I'm just like, geez, that's what they're supposed to do. But then now they're like, okay, well, maybe I just need to be an asshole to women, because all women want assholes, And it's like, there's too many signals out there. But if you can just like take a step back and breathe, what are the qualities that I'm wanting in another person? And you got to exhibit those in yourself first.
Absolutely. And you gotta be ready to be vulnerable. I don't think you can show up in a relationship without, being vulnerable. I think that's the key. That's the true femininity as well. The true feminine energy is all about being vulnerable, being ready to be a little bit exposed as well.
Yeah.
Being authentic.
Yeah, but then like, oh my gosh, when I opened up my heart last time, I got hurt, so I'm not going to do that again. And then you wonder why you're not getting connectedness in
There's always a risk, even in a relationship, even in your marriage, every day, there's a risk to get hurt. Bad news, girls. And then, and that's the truth.
Away.
That's the truth. Yes. So it's all about opening your heart again, being ready to get hurt.
But then this is why I love this conversation. So you bring up vulnerability, right? Vulnerability, the risk of getting hurt and all this, right? But then the balance of vulnerability is the masculine energy of boundaries.
There you go.
So like, that's what I love about the masculine and the feminine, because they balance each other out. And then when you're in balance, like, you're bulletproof. You're absolutely bulletproof when you are in balance, because you have not only stepped into your full potential, but you are in 100% control of your life. And so if you open yourself up to be completely vulnerable to somebody else, but set super firm boundaries and draw that line in the sand, you can't get hurt. You absolutely, like, you just can't, because you know yourself too well.
What has been, actually, I'm curious to know about your story as well. So tell me, how was your story of getting more in touch with your feminine energy, or how were those imbalances working for you?
Yeah, it was really funny, because my relationships sucked. Like, I was like, and it's not that I met it's not like I had crappy boyfriends or they treated me bad. It wasn't anything like that. They just ended, right? They ended because I wasn't very open. They weren't very open. I wasn't being honest with I was holding back a ton because I was too afraid of getting hurt. So I didn't say certain things. I didn't speak up, all this stuff. And so my relationships sucked. And I was really tired of my relationships ending. And then it was really funny because I went through this whole practice after my last breakup, and I was like, all right, I really got to understand what's happening. And, you know, and then when I wasn't looking for it, God says, okay, here, you're ready for another relationship. So I got this other relationship, and he was very masculine, so, and very opposite of what I would have ever chosen for myself. And and at that moment, I really had to practice being more feminine. I had to practice letting him take the lead. And what I found in it, even though it was really hard, I found that I really liked it. I found like I really enjoyed it. It was nice being able to just like take a breath every once in a while and not be in total control all the time. And so it was a different part of myself. And because of that, I learned so much about myself, and literally the gates of heaven opened for me. Like my soul gifts opened, everything in my life really unlocked. My income, like everything multiplied by practicing these. And so I went deeper into what those energies were, and then obviously I fell in love with it, and now I teach it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's exactly what we were saying before, that, you know, women say that they keep repeating some patterns. So keep, I don't know, you know, meeting assholes or whatever, whatever they call these kind of guys. I think then it's a time to kind of look in the mirror and say, okay, you know, what's my role here? What am I doing exactly the same way each time when I meet those assholes? Because there is a recurring pattern there, that's for sure.
Common denominator, you know, everything is about us, right? We like to know about ourselves. We like to hear about ourselves. We like to talk about ourselves until shit hits the fan. It's somebody else's problem. It's, you know, it's somebody else's to blame on it. But at the end of the day, like you said, you know, I talk a lot about the relationship mirror. Everything is a reflection of who we are. Like, people are brought into our lives to either irritate us, to show us things that we like or whatever, so we can bring those qualities out in ourselves. The irritations are gifts of healing. All right, why is this irritating me? I need to go look deep inside so I can heal it. It doesn't show up anymore. What you like in another person are qualities that either you need to bring out more of yourself in, right? And it's all about that mirror. So if you're able to see yourself in others, you're able to again take complete control of your life, because then again, you can't be hurt anymore because you know it's all about you.
Absolutely.
It's all about you. And especially like when it comes to, you know, when I hear the stuff, you know, the men do this and the men do that, and the men, and my partner does this and my partner, I can't get over it. I mean, you're attached to something. There's something within that drama and that chaos that you're attracted to, that you're attached to, whether or not you want to believe it or not. It's definitely not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing, but it's definitely something that needs to be healed, and understanding what that attachment is. So again, you can let go. And then once you let go, you regain your power back. But by holding on to things and sitting in the drama and the chaos, it's not doing you any good.
No, it's creating more of those victim stories, you know, and it's, you know, the fierce feminine, the powerful feminine is not a victim. This is the, you know, I give a good example. If someone asks, okay, who is, in your opinion, this fierce feminine person that we all know? And in my opinion, I really keep seeing Beyonce somehow, because I feel she's really embodying that, you know, the powerful woman, but who has so much, actually, so much feminine energy, but she's strong. She, you know, she knows what she's doing. Same with Oprah as well. I think they are very good examples, in my opinion, who embody that balance between masculine and feminine.
You know what? And that is one of my favorite words right now is embodiment, right? Really like really embodying everything of everything you are. And when you can embody both the masculine and the feminine, when you can embody that, that's when you're powerful. That's when you become the Oprahs of the world, the Beyoncés of the world, the Maya Angelos, all those. That's when you really are that person. And you know, and it's not about being fake, like you said earlier. It's not pretending to have this confidence. It's not pretending you're bigger or better than you really are. It's really about embodying everything, you as a whole, so you can step into your full potential, so you can start to become the leader that you were meant to be. Like it's about creating, like for me anyways, for me it's about creating powerful feminine leaders, because we need more of them, right? I went to this women's empowerment summit a couple months ago, and every speaker was a freaking man. I was
Hmm.
like, really? Really? And then they were giving out some awards, and men got some awards on this. And I'm like, come on. Like, I'm at a women's empowerment summit and there was 5 male speakers. You've got to be freaking kidding me. So we need women to step up. We need women to stop being so supercharged. We need you to drop into these qualities of the feminine. We need you to learn boundaries. We need you to speak up. We need you to step into your power. We need you to be vulnerable. We need you to open up, because when you do that, that's when the changes are going to start. But you cannot. One of my favorite quotes. I love Rumi. He's my favorite poet. So I quote him all the time because he was just a magician, right? But
Yes.
the quote was, yesterday I was clever and decided to change the world, but today I was wise and decided to change myself. When you can start embodying these energies and these qualities within yourself, that's when you can start making changes on this planet.
And I will also add one of other my favorite Rumi's quotes, and it's close your eyes, fall in love, stay there.
Mm.
And I think one of the topics that we talked about, feeling and being in your body, but I think like this feminine goddess, she can't exist before you fully accept your body as well. I feel a lot of women don't feel good in their bodies. They want to escape their bodies. They want to punish their bodies. So it's all, they mistreating their bodies. And that was my story as well. It took me, almost 30 years to really love myself the way I am. And I think it's very, very important. If you don't accept yourself fully how you are, there's always this part that you reject. And when there's always a part of you that you're rejecting, there's no real love there. There's no real femininity there. So it's
Yeah.
also about feeling at peace with yourself,
Yeah,
feeling
you
at
got to
home in your
embrace the
body.
shadows. You got to embrace the shadows, or unless you literally just spend your life living like, imagine being in a pool with a bunch of beach balls, and you're trying to dunk these beach balls, but they're just going to pop up, and hit you in the face when you least expect it to. And you've got to embody all of that, because that's when you're powerful, when you can really embody all of who you are. And and I know this so deeply because that's something that I struggled with, for so long. I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'10". I'm athletic, so I'm muscular. I never really felt very feminine. I felt more masculine. When I was in middle school, I wished I was a boy. I was like, why was I born a girl? Like, I was really upset about it because I just didn't feel like the other girls. And even to this day, sometimes I don't feel as feminine as the other women. But it's like but when you like really understand that, you're open with that with yourself, and being able to have that kind of awareness, you can see when you're drifting off, when you're not being your true self, when you're letting the ego get in the way, and you're able to really drop down. And when you're able to really drop down and really see where that's coming from and heal it, you're really in such a, life, you end up becoming the puppeteer of your life, and the world plays out the way you write it. And that's what it means to like really create your life. You create your life. Like, it's not, your life isn't pre-written. You create it. We've been given the beautiful gift of free will, and we can choose love or we can choose fear, you know, and most of us choose the path of fear. Those are the only two choices we have every day.
Yes, absolutely. I always say you make decisions out of love or out of fear. That's your decision. So exactly like you said.
Yeah.
And sometimes women ask as well, so how do I know? How do I know that the decisions come out of fear or out of love? Fear is again the mind. It's the mind stuff. The nasty voices telling you things that you can't, or you're not in good enough, or you're not pretty enough. And love is in your body. It's in your heart. It's your intuition, and that's the real good place where you want to be, actually.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like femininity is this such word that is used so often, but really embodied by few. So it's such an important conversation we're having today, I feel.
Oh yeah, I was so excited for this conversation because it's just something, you know, I scroll through Facebook and then I hear, oh, the divine feminine, your goddess energy, da 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 da. But but everybody's still teaching this separation. Like you said, the separation. There is no separation. The divine feminine and the divine masculine have absolutely nothing to do with gender. Nothing to do with gender, right? And I said this a little bit before, we were birthed by a man and a woman. And so it was a joining of the two energies that to create the one being. And so then therefore we've got to embody both because we were given both. Um, and once we really understand that and stop seeing ourselves as separate, women are separate from men and men are separate from women, and stop competing with each other and start to create this polarity between the two, that's when we can start to move mountains, right? But it comes down to, you know, self-awareness and, you know, and vulnerability and being able to just trust. Oh my gosh, too many people on this planet just don't trust anything anymore, and it's like it's really getting into those and as we start to kind of wrap up here, if any of you guys have any questions, and just also know that you know, there's a little bit of a delay on my screen than it is on Facebook Live, so if you have any questions, definitely ask them, and then I'll start reading through some of the comments. I know we got some comments on here, but this has just been such a beautiful conversation.
Yes, such an important conversation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You
just
know, I was you were talking about excitement before, and this is one of the topics that I'm constantly working on, because I feel, you know, excitement is actually also, I would say it's a masculine quality, because this is in your mind, you know, and that's where I have a lot of energy and I have a lot of excitement, so it's constantly grounding myself and bringing myself back to my body. Otherwise I would be somewhere gone already. So I'm just saying that so that people would know that, you know, there's always some work to do, and it's a lifetime journey. It's not like a quick fix that, you know, it doesn't work that you put on a dress and and you're going to be feminine. Nothing to do with that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it definitely is. Definitely a work in progress. Geez,
Yes.
please. But I'm going to start reading. Jessica says, so true about the vulnerability. Another thing with control, not wanting to let control or fearing putting yourself out there. You know, too many of us like really like, especially like it. I have to say this story. You know, when I was stepping out into the space that I'm in now, and I you know, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, came to me and said, you know, that I needed to step out and be seen. I was like, what? I don't want to, you know, I don't want to. My whole life, I was so afraid of how other people judged me. My life was literally ruled by how people would judge me. I went to school, got the degrees in college because of how, you know, people were going to praise me for, I gave up my dreams because people would like scowl at me when I like really went for my dreams. I was so controlled by that. And then so when Spirit told me I needed to step out and be seen and heard, I was like, oh God, no, like that is not what I want to do. But and now I realize why I did that. And I had to really surrender and trust that process. And now look, I get to change people's lives every single day, and it's pretty amazing. But I could have resisted it, And I did resist it for a long time. I couldn't resist it.
You know, it's also want to tell people who are listening that it's not about not feeling the fear, or it's not about this. Every other day, believe me, I would like to go under my blanket and hide there. You know, it's not comfortable to be out there. It's not comfortable doing Facebook Live, being vulnerable, talking about your, real truth. It's not comfortable to give workshops in front of audiences, or this is the work that I feel it's bigger than yourself. And I think first time in my life I understand what it means, because I have loads of fear almost every day, and still, like, it's still, the push is so strong, I can't be quiet, I can't be silent. So there you go, this is the fierce feminine taking over.
Oh, amen. There's days I literally just, I'm like, oh, why do I do this? It's draining. It's exhausting. My neighbor was like, geez, you guys are the busiest people I know. We're like in and out of our place all the time. We're traveling, there's times where we live out of a suitcase more than we live in our bed. It's like, it's crazy. And it's like, but like I said, there's some days I just don't want to get up out of bed, but that there's a bigger calling, there's a bigger something that I know I have to show up for. And so when I have to peel back those layers, that sucks sometimes. When I have to peel back those layers, it's like, all right, you have to do it because there's something bigger out there that you're working for, becoming like a really powerful leader, becoming that person and showing other people that they can do it as well. But I have to say, what gets me through that is the team of support that I have around me. I have literally surrounded myself with support in every single area of my life, so I can show up at that level every single day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so for those of you who are watching, I know I had promised a little gift. So for those of you who are watching, I have a program out there that is it's 7 days to attracting a love you desire. I'm not promising you're going to find love in 7 days, but it does give you that foundation of starting to attract better people in your life. And for one person tomorrow, I'll announce it. For one person, if you type me down in the comments, we will do a raffle, and I'll send you the link, and you'll win that program. So I wanted to offer that. Jessica says it's awesome. You ladies are both great for putting yourselves out there and helping people. Thank you, Jessica. It's great to be able to do this. It's great to be able to help people every single day. Just have a little bit more confidence, make more money, get into relationships. It's for me, it's so fueling to be able to watch people's progress, to just see that progress. It's so great. And but like I said, mentorship is key. For me, I've got a naturopath and a health coach. I've got a personal trainer. I've got a therapist that I see. I've got a business coach. Like, I'm literally like covered with coaches and a team of people to keep me so strong and keep me forward. And this is why I've created, that is how I've created the life that I have.
I'm just feeling very grateful right now.
Yeah, that's being okay with the silence and sitting there in your body and just absorbing the energy. That's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Do we have any more questions?
There's such a delay on this Zoom, and then I like Be Live so much better, but I'm like, geez, like when you run a business, like all the subscriptions that you get. So we canceled the Be Live, and the other thing is I can't see the comments that are on the other Facebook groups. I can just see the comments that are on my page. So some of them will have to answer by typing later. So I apologize for that little glitch in their Zoom. But Jessica says I'm loving the positive energy too. And it's just great. I love this topic. I just love this conversation because we need to get to a place of connectedness. We've really lost touch of our connectedness. Like, it's so funny. We'll go to a restaurant and you'll see people on a first date and they're both just sitting there texting the entire time. People don't pick up the phone anymore. People don't, everything's through text or emojis or whatever. And it's like, we've got to get back to a place of connectedness. It's necessary, but the only way we can connect is by connecting back into ourselves.
Yeah, and also I would add here connection with other women, like when you are a woman, connecting with women, because I think this is it's a very special connection. I personally didn't see a need to be, having too many girlfriends around in my past, because I was like, women talk about makeup and, I'm not really interested about those topics. And now I just laugh, 5 years ago, I would have never thought that I'm actually coaching women, organizing workshops for women, that I'm working with women. So you never know in life, you never know. So it's, I think it's such important connection, and it's not about comparing yourself with other women, because it's about uplifting each other. That's what I feel like. It's not bringing each other down. It's about, helping and supporting. That's the support that is available to everybody. Other women, use women.
Right? Women empowering women, we need to, like I'm sure you get this as well. You'll go places and women will stare and they'll make comments, and that is not healthy behavior. Gossiping about other women, like gossip is the lowest form of communication. Gossiping, scowling, instead of like seeing someone that you see as beautiful or powerful, show some gratitude and spread that. It's like, oh, you know what, I want more of what she has. I want more of that and that. And you'll start to see that coming back into your life when you're showing support for support for other people. And and instantly, by that kind of behavior and that kind of language, you already instantly know where people are in their lives. I saw a comment, I got an ad for Tony Robbins, like a Tony Robbins event the other day. And someone posted on there, oh, don't give that man another dime. Well, I know you're having financial problems, right? So those types of things, you really want to be conscious of the type of energy you're sending out there to other people, because, that's the law of giving and receiving. You get back what it is you give out, so you've got to be really conscious of that energy that you put out there.
I personally don't understand this criticism, like you look at, I don't know, Facebook groups or whatever. If there's no really valuable feedback, if you write something, oh, this is shit, whatever, like keep it to yourself. Actually, there's so much negativity already, and this is not helping this person. But if you want to say, oh, I think this article or whatever you're sharing, this post, could have this different, that's feedback. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. It's just criticism. It's negative energy. We don't need that. Keep it for yourself. I always, yeah.
But then I also challenge you, don't keep it to yourself, but you know what? Be self-aware enough to understand why you wanted to say that negative thing in the first place. Because when you do keep it in yourself, that's when we get diseases in our bodies. That's when things aren't working right. So, keep that to yourself, but go a little bit deeper as to why you felt the need to be, needed to be judged. This is another one of my favorite sayings, right? Every time you judge someone else, all you do is reveal an unhealed part of yourself.
You're judging yourself, really.
You're judging yourself. So go deep inside as to why. And to be honest, that layer is going to go deep. It's going to go deep in childhood, right? It's going to go way, way, way deep back in the archives as to why you felt that. And, but yeah, don't keep it in the body, definitely explore that, because that's why we have problems. That's why we have back issues. That's why we've got diseases. That's why we've got all these things. So, like this conversation, we can literally go on forever and ever and ever and ever, because there's so many problems, that we could solve. My dad one time said to me, he's like, Mandy, you can't save the world. And I was like, but why not, but why not? There's so many problems that I feel like I can solve. But again, it starts being self-aware with myself and going really deep down inside of myself. And only then is when I can start making changes in this world.
Absolutely. And you can change the world. I do believe you can. We all can. small,
Right?
small baby steps.
One layer of myself at a
Absolutely.
time until I'm
Yeah.
like bleeding. Like one day on this Facebook Live, I'm bleeding out to death. Like, what's wrong? She just peeled back too many layers.
And also, there's this definitely balance of how much do you give yourself, or what's this energy that you're giving away, right? So there's a difference of just like, I want to help everybody. You can't, that's the truth. You can't save all people in the world. So it's very important to take care of yourself as well. And I think that's coming from a very different energy. It's not this needy energy that I want to help others and then I get something back myself. That's when I feel whole. It's not
Oh,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, you got to take care of yourself. And, and I did a Facebook post about this a couple weeks ago, about like the whole self-care, because that's one thing that just drives me crazy with, oh, you got to love yourself, you got to do this. But it's like, back in the day, I would be like, well, what does it mean? I feel like I do love myself. What does that mean to really love yourself? And for me, loving yourself again is for me, loving myself means having a big support system outside of my relationship,
Yeah.
because I need that. So I've got I've got a lot of coaches in a lot of coaches in my life. So I've got myself set up that way. I set very clear boundaries in my life. I speak up for myself. I honor myself. That is what it means to really to be into a vibration of self-love. When you're speaking up, you're honoring yourself every single day, and you're really being and expressing myself fully. It's not about, getting a massage every once in a while, but I am getting a massage tomorrow. But like it's about, but it's really about self-honor. It's
It's
really about
self-parenting. That's what I say. When people get confused, okay, how should I treat myself? I always say, think about if, you would be a mother to yourself. Like, how would you behave? What would you want? How would you, be your best friend or be your own parent if you're confused what self-love means.
yeah, be your own parent. And I'll, I want to bring up this point as well, because um I had this conversation earlier today. Like someone was having like some relationship issues and had like they had like 4 kids or something like that. And so I asked, I was like, um the issues that you're going through in your relationship right now, is this the relationship you want your kids to have when they start dating, like when they get married? Like, is that what you want? Well, no. Well, everything that you're doing now, especially if you're a mother or a father or whatever, or you plan on getting to that point, it's like you set the example, you set the precedence. And so when you're wanting to desire things in your life, you've got to become those things before you actually have those things. And when you really embody and become the person that you would want your kids to be, then that really helps you to look at things a little bit differently. Do I want my kids to struggle the way I've been struggling with my relationships? Do I want my kids to struggle financially the way I'm struggling financially right now? Do I want my kids to not ask for support? Do I want this? Because they're going to model that behavior. So I love that you say it's like that self-parenting, but then take a look outside of yourself and look in to see if somebody is modeling this behavior. Is this a life that I would like to pass on to somebody else, whether or not you have kids or not? And it's a great way to look, oh shit, no, this is definitely where I need to step up my game in life.
Absolutely. Such good advice.
Yeah. And it's so important, so
Yeah.
important. So, especially when you, like for me, I, do this DNA and all this stuff, and it's like, it stunts you. I tell Paul's like, oh my God, it like stunts you for ever wanting a kid, because you don't want to pass on any garbage. But you know what? But it's really important to really think about that stuff, because, there are people out there who are watching what you're doing, even if you don't have kids or whatever. Everybody's on social media. Your life is out there. People are watching. Like people are watching, and people can tell BS. People can tell when you're lying. People can tell when you're not being authentic. So
Absolutely.
really embody the person that's, embody the person that you want to become. Like if you can just embody the person you want to become every single day and show up for yourself, you can start to create everything in life that you've ever dreamed of. Life doesn't have to be difficult.
No. change your story. It's not a struggle, you know, it's an adventure, really.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
And
So
this,
tell
yeah.
everybody how they can reach you. Like, how can they contact you?
So my website is called, and the movement that I've created for women to really feel confident and feminine without having to fake it, is called Zensure Woman. And the website is zensurewoman.com. And you can also look for a Facebook group, which is a closed Facebook group for women only. And it's Zensure Woman Tribe. You can find it as well. And I think I will post it in the comments section as well. So you can find it as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do.
Please
Please do.
join the movement.
Join the movement. There's so much to learn. Like, we've literally just like touched the tip of the iceberg here. And I definitely want to have more conversations with you just because I love listening to your beautiful accent.
Oh yeah, and I think like I should have said in the beginning, where's my accent from? Because you know what happens? Maybe some people were wondering the whole time, where is she from? It happens sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are trying to guess. Well, figure out. Go to my website. Maybe you'll find out.
There's a secret there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I definitely want to continue this conversation more because it's just, I really had decided in my life that I really, I was out here, I was, teaching people from my couch and doing these Facebook lives. And of course I do local speaking and, and do workshops. But I'm like, you know what, I'm playing small. I'm playing small is what I realized. And I was like, I really need to team up with some really amazing people who can really amplify my message. And amplify because this stuff just needs to be taught and it needs to be spread across the world. And I can't do that, a few people at a time, so anyways, this is why I'm doing this, because I love it. And I'm just infatuated with all the amazing people that I've met over the last few weeks doing these interviews, and I'm just so excited. So I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much as well, doing that work.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm excited to keep this conversation up. So those of you, we didn't see your comments, we'll reply to them after the fact, and we'll put the links down below. Again, if you guys want to, be part of that raffle, it's a 7-day course that you do on your own. You'll just get 7 emails. No, I think it's 8 emails that you get. You can do this little course on your own. Really, it's going to help you build that foundation of attracting better people into your life and understanding why your relationships haven't worked up until now. So I decided to give that away as a gift today. So yeah, just type me if you want to be part of that raffle. And yeah, thank you so much, Lee, for joining us. We'll definitely be doing this again soon. Yes. And we'll post a link. Join her group, Sensual Woman. And yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.